The Lost Egg Mystery is part of a series called Dino Tailies. It's about a group of young dinosaurs who go on adventures together. They are all friends, and they live in the late Cretaceous period about 75 million years ago, in what is now the western part of North America. One day, our friends are hanging out at the edge of the swamp when they see something strange. It's a giant bull. What's that? Wonders little C. Maybe it's a new type of plant, says her friend Spike. Let's investigate. The friends start to walk closer to the ball, which they soon realize is an egg. It's too big to be a bird's egg. There aren't any birds here, only dinosaurs. And besides, it doesn't look like any dinosaur egg that they've seen before. Hello, calls out, see, are you in there? Can you hear me? But there was no reply. Then suddenly, the eggs started to roll away. Whoa! Cried Sishi, and her friends ran after the rolling egg. It bounced off a tree and then rolled into the swamp. It's going underwater! Shouted C as she dove right in after it. When she surfaced again, she saw that the egg had stopped moving. C swam over to it and gave it a gentle nudge with her nose. The egg cracked open, revealing a tiny dinosaur inside. It's so cute! Squealed C. She helped the baby dino get out of the egg and onto land. But before he could take more than a couple of steps, the baby dino collapsed. He looked very weak. I think he's scared, said Spike. And maybe hungry or thirsty, added C. We need to find his mom fast. The baby dino let out a loud cry. As they were talking, a pterodactyl swooped down from above. Hey, Terra, can you help us? Called out C. Terra tilted his head, looking from the baby dinosaur to the egg to C and her friends. Sure, he said. Hop on my back, little guy. The baby dino hesitated for a second, but then climbed onto Terra's back. Let's go find your mom, said Terra kindly. They flew over the tall trees and the wide river until they came to a clearing on the other side of the Great Valley. Suddenly, a large female dinosaur appeared in front of them. Mom! Cried the baby dino, and he quickly ran over to her. There you are, she said, nuzzling him. I was so worried. Where were you? The mother dino looked up at Terra. Thank you for bringing him home, she said. You're welcome. Terra dipped his head and then took off back the way he came. See? And her friends waved goodbye. See you later, called out C. Then they turned and walked back to the swamp. As they were walking, they couldn't stop thinking about how much the mother dino must have worried about her lost egg and her baby. I'm just glad we were able to help, said Spike. Me too, said C. But they knew that they weren't the ones who should get the thanks. Terra was the one who found the baby dino first, said Spike. He's the real hero. C nodded, knowing that Spike was right. They walked in silence for a bit, each lost in thought. C was wondering if she would ever get to be as brave as Terra when she heard a loud crack. Startled, she jumped and turned around to see what had happened. It was Stego. He had accidentally stepped on a twig and broken it. Oh, sorry, he said sheepishly. C laughed and told him not to worry about it. Just then, they rounded a bend in the path and came face to face with a very long dinosaur. Whoa, breathed. See, she recognized this dino immediately. It was a Diplodocus, one of the largest herbivores that ever lived. She remembered learning about them from her favorite teacher, Miss Riff. The Diplodocus was so long that it had to eat in 2 or 3 sections. Each time it finished eating the plants in one area, it would move to a new spot to keep the plants there from running out. That's why they were called the most widespread herbivore, because they could live pretty much anywhere. Wow, whispered C. Look how big it is. Hi there, called out Stego, politely. The Diplodocus looked down at them curiously. Hello, he rumbled. His voice sounded kind of funny, like someone was speaking through a megaphone. We were just heading back home, said Spike. Oh, okay, replied the Deep. I was just looking for some tasty plants to eat. Do you know where I can find some? Yeah, sure, said Stego. Come with us. We know a great place. The Diplodocus smiled, showing off rows and rows of teeth. Thanks. I'd like that. He started to walk away. Wait a minute, called out C. The Diplodocus stopped and turned back to face them. Yes, he asked. Do you know where the baby dino's mom lives? Asked C. The Diplodocus shook his head. No, I'm afraid I don't. Maybe ask that rock over there? It's been here longer than I have. C looked over at the rock. She had noticed it earlier, but she didn't pay much attention to it. How could a rock talk? But then she remembered what her teacher, Miss Rift, had told her. Some dinosaurs, including Ankylosaurus, could live for hundreds of years. That means that some rocks were older than some dinosaurs? Maybe the rock really could talk. Excuse me, said C politely. Do you know where the baby dino's mom lives? We've been looking everywhere for her, and we can't find her. The rock rumbled, and C realized that it was actually a kind of deep voice coming from the ground. I believe I may have seen her around here somewhere. C. And her friends waited patiently while the rock rumbled some more. Finally, the rock spoke again. Ah, yes! I remember now. I saw her near the berry bushes by the riverbank. Thank you so much, said C. She and her friends hurried off to find the berry bushes by the riverbank. As they were walking, C couldn't help but wonder how the rock had gotten so old. Had it always been there? Or had it moved from somewhere else? C decided to ask the rock later. Right now, she needed to find the baby dino's mom. When they got to the riverbank, they saw the bushes right away. Sure enough, there was the baby dino's mom. She was munching on some berries and seemed very relaxed. Mom! Cried the baby dino again. And once more, he ran over to her. There you are, she said, giving him another hug. I was so worried. Where were you? Then she turned to face C and her friends. Thank you for taking care of my baby. I owe you one! C blushed, embarrassed that she hadn't come up with a good answer for the mother dino earlier. It was no trouble at all, she said finally. In fact, it was fun. The mother dino smiled. Well, then perhaps we can repay you by letting you come visit sometime. Really? Asked C. That would be so cool, she whispered to her friends. Then C turned back to the mother dino. That sounds wonderful, she said. Thank you. C. And her friends walked back home, still excited about their adventure. I can't wait to tell everyone about this tomorrow, said C. Me neither, agreed Stego. As they reached the edge of the swamp, they turned to say goodbye to the Thanks for showing us where to find the bushes, said Spike. No problem, replied the Diplodocus. Say hello to everyone for me. Then he turned and ambled away. C and her friends watched him go. I wonder how old he is, said Stego. And how did he get so big? He must have been born here, said Spike. His ancestors probably hatched right around here over 150 million years ago. C stared at the ground, imagining all the dinosaurs that had lived, loved, and died here over the course of so many millions of years. It's amazing to think that we're part of this place. Too? She said softly. Her friends nodded, understanding exactly what she meant. They continued on, each lost in thought until they reached their homes. They went inside to get ready for bed, dreaming of the adventures they would have tomorrow.